Philippines, and of course, President of Sangguniang Light of Filipinas, Brother Sabi Padilla, kasama ninyo. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. Ako po ay sa kapit probinsya nila po ng Galing, taga-Batangas po. Maraming salamat po, Doms, for that very, very kind introduction. Research and gusto. Sa bagay na po, nawala doon. Gusto ko lang po yun. Very simply, ako po ay nagulat ng lahat. Sabi na nakikinig ako sa talk ni Bishop Evangelista. Ako ay isang pilgrim dito po sa mundong ito. At sana po, matawag niyo po ako isang disipulo ng Kristo. So, ngayon pong hapon, gusto ko pong talakayin sa inyo ang isang topic na it's a big challenge to Filipino families nowadays. Marami po tayong pinakaharap na problema dito sa ating bansa. Pero ito po ay isang challenge, isang issue that concerns all of us. Bakit po? Kasi po, bawat isa sa atin without any exception, tayo po ay nanggaling sa isang pamilya. Wala pong makapagsasabi na hindi ng totoo. At sa ngayon po, napakarami pong mga developments around the world ang nakaka-affecto at nakakabahala dahil ito po ay malaking epekto at kalimitan po ay hindi magandang epekto sa ating pamilya. Isa po ito, divorce na pagtalakayin po ngayong hapon. Okay, so hindi ko po pwedeng talakayin ng divorce na hindi ko rin tinatalakay ang marriage. Kasi divorce is the very antithesis of marriage, sabi nga po niya. Kaya, ano po ba ang marriage? Marriage po ay, sabi po sa family code, yan po yung batas that governs yung marriage and family. Hindi ko pwede siguro hindi pag-usapan ang batas at yan po ang ating pag-uusapan ng most of the time during my talk. Kasi dapat po siguro alam po natin kung ano po ang batas that governs family or families and marriage. Okay, so marriage is a special contract of permanent union between a man and a woman. Yun na lang po, is a special contract of permanent union. And it is between a man and a woman. Importante rin po yan. It is the foundation of the family and an inviolable social institution. Sa panimula po, tandaan lang po natin ang mga kataganian. Marriage is a special contract of permanent union between a man and a woman. And it is the foundation of the family and an inviolable social institution. Hindi ko po gawa-gawa yan. Yan po ay nakasaad sa ating family room. Now, what is legal separation? Meron po tayong tatlong remedies para po sa troubled marriages. Ang una po dyan ay legal separation. Ano po ang legal separation? It is separation of spouses from bed and board. While it permits the partial suspension of marital relations, the marriage bond still exists as the marital bonds are not severed. No? So, patuloy na kasal pa rin ang mag-asawa, although separated sila from bed and board. So, hindi pa rin po sila pwede magpakasal sa iba. No? Yung legal separation decree, meron din po dyan liquidation of property regime, at saka meron din po dyan provisions for the support and custody of children. So the spouses remain married to one another. They cannot remarry. no? After a decree of legal separation. Ano po ang some of the grounds for legal separation? Babanggitin ko lang po. Repeated physical violence or grossly abusive conduct directed against the petitioner, a common child, or a child of the petitioner. Physical violence or moral pressure to compel change of religious or political affiliation. Attempt of respondent to corrupt or induce the petitioner, a common child, or a child of the petitioner to engage in prostitution or connivance in such corruption or inducement. Final judgment sentencing the respondent to imprisonment of more than 6 years, even if pardon. Drug addiction or habitual alcoholism is also a ground for legal separation. Okay, ano po ba? Ano pa parang iba? Lesbianism po or homosexuality, contracting with the respondent of a subsequent vigorous marriage, sexual infidelity or perversion, attempt against the life of the petitioner, and abandonment by a respondent without justifiable cause for more than 1 year. Yan po ang mga grounds for legal separation. Tayo oras, hindi ko po I cannot discuss each of the grounds at this time. Okay. So, ang isa po pong remedy at tinatawag nating annulment. I'm sure na pakinig nyo na po ito. Ang annulment po, dalawang klase yan. Yung annulment of voidable marriage at yung isa po ay declaration of absolute nullity of void marriage. So, merong voidable marriage, ina-annul po yan, and yung void marriage, ang ginagawa po dyan, dinideclare lang po na absolute nullity ang void marriage. Ito pong pangalawa, ito po ay parang kahit, it's very similar to that of the church, no? Pero, malaki naman po ang kaibahan din. Pero, alam niyo po ba, ang civil code, nanghiram lang po sa simbahan, sa Catholic Church, nitong konsepto na ito. No? Na ngayon po ay malaki na ang pinag-iba kaysa sa noong mga nakaraang taon. Under annulment po, marriage bond is severed. No? So, nagtatapos yung kasal, and both spouses can remarry. Okay, yan po ang kaibahan ng legal separation at ng annulment. Okay? Ngayon, what is annulment of voidable marriage? Sabi natin, ito ay isang klase ng annulment, voidable marriage. Yan po yung lack of parental consent, insanity, consent obtained by fraud or by force, intimidation, or undue influence, physical incapacity to perform marital act, and the incapacity continues and appears to be incurable, sexually transmissible disease that appears to be serious and incurable. So, anong ibig sabihin po nito? May legal defect po yung kasal at the time of the celebration of marriage, no? So, pero, pwede po itong ratipikahan. Paano po ito nararatipikahan? Okay, alam naman po, noong siguro babae, baka napilitan lang siya o ng lalaki na mayroong force, intimidation, pressure sa kanya na hindi niya masyado malakas, na hindi niya matanggihan, kaya siya napakasal. No? Pero despite that, nagsama sila ng matagal and marami pang naging anak. So, wala naman silang ginawa, hindi sila nagsama at ayos na kanilang pagsasama. So, that's ratification of avoidable marriage. Pero, kung if they have chosen to declare, to have a petition for the annulment of that avoidable marriage, pwede rin po naman. Magpa-file lang sila ng petition for annulment sa court. And then, kung mag-grant ng court yung petition for annulment, the marriage ban po terminates, and pwede na po sila ulit, pareho sila makapag-asawa ng iba. Okay? So, yun po ang voidable marriage. So, sabi natin, may isa pang klase ng annulment, yan ang declaration of absolute nullity of void marriage. Ano po ibig sabihin ng void marriage? Void. Ibig sabihin po. Anong ibig sabihin po ng void? walang visa. Okay? Sa simula pa, wala ng visa. Kung walang visa ang kasal, wala tayong kasal na pwedeng pag-usapan. There is no marriage to speak of. Okay? Pero, hindi po pwedeng basta sabihin ng mag-asawa, oh, walang visa pala kasal natin. Tapos na kasal natin, mag-asawa na tayo ng iba. Okay? Hindi pwede po yung ganon. Kahit na po, sa batas, walang visa yung kasal, and ang turing po dyan, parang walang kasal na nangyari, kahit void nga po, kinakailangan pa rin na mag-file ng petition for declaration of nullity of void marriage sa korte. Okay? And kung, ano naman po, if that petition is granted, then, ano po, or declared as absolute nullity in void marriage na yun. Ano po yung mga instances na yan? Any party below 18, even with the consent of parents or guardians, below 18, void po yung marriage na yan. Solemnized by any person not legally authorized to perform marriages unless either or both parties believe in good faith that the solemnizing officer had the legal authority to do so. Solemnized without his license, wala akong lisensya. Bigamous or polygamous marriages. Mistake of one contracting party as to the identity of the other. Diba baka akala nung pinapakasalan niya sa Richard Moores, hindi. So, those subsequent marriages that are void under Article 53, yung hindi po nakaregister sa civil registry, incestuous and void from the beginning. Void from the beginning for reasons of public policy. Katulad po kung nag-adapt, hindi niya pwede pakasalan ng kanyang inagaw. Important because that's against public policy. At ito po yung mas popular. I'm sure, sabi nyo, yung psychological incapacity. Ang dami na siguro narinig. Yung psychological incapacity, yun din po ay ground for absolute declaration of, or declaration of absolute nullity of void marriage. Ngayon, yung psychological incapacity na yan, again, parang walang marriage na nag-exist from the very start. Sabi nga nila, it's a decent burial to a stillborn marriage kung magpapile ng petition for declaration of absolute nullity. Ngayon, yung Supreme Court, recently po, like 2021, doon po sa Tan-Andal versus Andal, nagkaroon po sila ng desisyon regarding psychological incapacity. And iniwanag po nila na ang psychological incapacity hindi po sakit, hindi isang medical illness. Ito po ay ang ground po nito or ang dahilan nito ay psychic causes. So, dati po ay kailangan pa ng isang psychiatrist or psychologist na susuriin yung party na sabi ng psychologically incapacitated and dapat testify in court kung psychologist o psychiatrist. Ngayon po, hindi na po kailangan yan. So parang medyo menos ng konti ang gastos dahil po dyan. Ngayon, so yun po ay dapat nag-exist at the time of the celebration of the marriage. And it is caused by a genuinely serious psychic cause. Okay, so, maaari pong yung dahilan noon, nandiyan na po yun bago pa sila ikasal. Okay, maaari dahil sa naging buhay niya noong childhood days niya, yun, naging, tapos lumala po at nag-manifest po yan after the celebration of the marriage. Pero, nandiyan na po yan. Even at the time of the celebration of the marriage. So kahit mo hindi kailangan ng psychiatrist or psychologist, kailangan pa rin mo ng clear and convincing evidence na mayroon talagang psychological incapacity. Paano po yan ipuprove sa court? Siyempre po, mga testimonies po ng mga asawa, kung po kanilang mga anak, kung mga anak, yun din po, mag-testify. Konting kwento lang po dito sa Tan-Andal versus Andal. Nakita po natin kanina na yung drug addiction, ground po for legal separation. Diba? So, ito po, yung lalaki po, he was meron po siyang addiction, drug addiction. So, as a result of that, nagkabangkarote na po ang kanilang business, maayos po sana ang kanilang buhay, sa magandang business, pero dahil po sa kanilang bisyo, nagkabangkarote sila. Tapos, patong-patong ng problema, sinasaktan niya yung kanyang asawa, sinasaktan niya ang kanyang anak. No? So, ang ginawa ng Supreme Court, hindi lang sila nag-zero in doon sa drug addiction. Kasi kung drug addiction, dapat legal separation lang po, hindi po ba? Pero ang ginawa ng Supreme Court, hindi na ng kabuuan. Okay? Drug addiction, maaaring root cause niya. And ano na siya, pag-alaman na may addiction siya even prior to the marriage. No? Pero, siyempre, mahal na mahal babae yung kanyang asawa, sabi na siguro, magbabago yan, mamahalin ko siya ng todo-todo. Pagkalampasan na yung kanyang addiction. Hindi po gano'n na nangyari. No? So, malaman ko lang ang problema. Tinignan ng Supreme Court ang kabuuan lahat ng circumstances. And the Supreme Court came up with the conclusion na the husband, no, is totally incapacitated to perform the essential requisites of marriage. No? Yung support, fidelity, diba? Yun po yung mga essential requisites ng marriage. Even yung harmonious relationship bilang mag-asawa, hindi na po that's not possible anymore. Kaya sa natin Supreme Court, this is a case of psychological incapacity. So we declare the marriage as an absolute nullity, walang marriage that ever existed from the very start. Kaya nagkaroon po ng annulment or declaration of absolute nullity based on psychological incapacity. Okay. Now, ano naman po ang divorce? Okay. Sa Pilipinas, alam po natin, wala pang divorce. Isang instance lang po. I will discuss that in a while. Sa divorce naman po, ang marriage walang problema. Valid marriage, completely valid po yung marriage, no? But the process developed after the celebration of the marriage. And because of these reasons, this process, both spouses decide, ayoko na. Tapos na, tapusin na natin ito, ayoko na, ng ganitong klaseng buhay. Pero, walang problema ang marriage nila. Legally, it's a valid marriage. Okay? So, ganyan, yun ang divorce. Okay, now, dalawang klase ang divorce. Kung sa mga in countries where divorce is legal, yung tinatawag ng no-fault divorce. Huwag na tayong, they don't blame one another. The spouses, they don't blame one another. They don't need to prove guilt or causes. Kanilang reason na lang ay irreconcilable differences and irretrievable marriage breakdown. Parang, parang makita yung mukha mo eh. Mo! Araw-araw gigising ako, ikaw gigising ko. Yung fault, tapos may fault-based divorce grounds are provided. So, sabi nila, yung divorce bill, yung klase nito, fault-based divorce. Kasi grounds are provided. Napakarami na akong grounds na I'll discuss that with you later. Okay. So, isang divorce na po, meron tayo sa Pilipinas sa ngayon, yung tinatawag ng foreign divorce decree. Ano po ito? Kung ang Pilipino po ay nakapangasawa ng isang foreigner, okay, yung foreigner po, sa national laws ng country niya, they allow divorce. No? So, a foreigner, he gets a divorce sa bansa po niya. Okay. Pag ganyan po, yung degree of divorce obtained from the foreign country can be presented before our courts here in the Philippines, and kapag na-follow po yung proseso, maaari po i-recognize yung foreign divorce para to apply also to the Filipino spouse. Bakit po ito pinayagan? Kasi po, to avoid an absurd situation, yung tinatawag for a situation. Can you imagine, yung foreign spouse, ano ang status mo? Divorce. Tapos yung asawa niya na Filipino, anong status mo? Married. Married, kanino? Diba? Diba? Sino ang asawa mo? Divorce na sabi ng asawa mo. Sinasabi mo na yung asawa. So, to avoid that kind of a situation, pinayagan mo foreign divorce. Yan po lang sa ngayon ang inaalaw ng divorce dito sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, what's the difference between annulment and divorce? Magkaiba po ba ito, annulment and divorce? Sana po, pagkatapos nitong hapon nito, when you go out, at least hindi na po palit-palit yung mga terms ninyo. Kasi alam nyo na po kung ano annulment, ano ang divorce. So, itong annulment, diba, sabi natin, dalawang klase ng annulment. So, ang premise is that there was no marriage from the very start because the marriage was never valid. So, yun yung void marriage. Diba? So, walang marriage from the very start. Or, pwede naman, or the marriage was legally defective from the start, that could be the basis for its nullification. Yun po yung voidable marriage naman. Diba? Ngayon, ang divorce. Spouses were previously legally and validly married but chose to legally terminate their marriage. Walang problema sa marriage, pero they have chosen na ayaw ko na, basta ayaw ko na, tapusin na natin yung ating relationship as husband and wife. Yun po ang difference. Nakita niyo po ang malaking difference na ito. Now, 1987 Constitution. Bakit po natin kinakailangan tingnan at alamin kung ano ang sinasabi ng ating Constitution. Lahat po tayo, pati po ating mga legislators, pati po ating presidente at mga cabinet secretaries, tayo po ay nasa ilalim ng 1987 Constitution. Yan po tinatawag natin fundamental law of the land. So lahat po tayo, kinakailangan natin sundin ang sinasaad ng ating Constitution. Kaya kailangan po natin alamin. Kaya, pagkatapos po nito, sabihin sa inyong pong mga kongresista po, alam mo ba, ito ang sinasabi ng ating Constitution. Kasi baka nakakalimutan din po nila or hindi nila alam sa maaari din po yun. Ngayon, ang sinasabi ng 1987, the family, the state recognizes the Filipino family as the foundation of the nation. Accordingly, it shall strengthen its solidarity and actively promote its total development. So, Filipino family is the foundation of the nation. Diba? Ang bigat. Filipino family as the foundation of the nation. So, ano ang obligasyon ng Estado? It shall strengthen its solidarity and actively promote its total development. Hindi ko po pawagawakan yan. Nalagay po yan sa ating Constitution, Section 1. Section 2, ito po, marriage as an inviolable social institution is the foundation of the family and shall be protected by the state. Okay, marriage naman po ito, it's an inviolable social institution and is the foundation of the family and again shall be protected by the state. No? So, obligasyon ng Estado, hindi lang pangalagaan ng pamilya, kundi pangalagaan din ang kalusugan at katatagan ng kasama. Okay? So, sabi ko yan ang ating Constitution. Okay. So, tatlong bagay po ito na intertwined o interlinked. Hindi natin pwedeng iwahiwalin ito. Una, sinabi, marriage is the foundation of the family. Diba? And then the family is the foundation of the nation. Sabi po yan ang ating Constitution. So, kung ano ang mangyari sa marriage, magre-reflect po yan sa klase ng pamilya na meron tayo. At kung ano man ang magiging mangyari sa ating pamilyang Pilipino, yan din po ay magre-reflect po anong klase po at anong katatag ang ating bansa. Okay? So, totoo naman yan. Hindi po ba? Totoo yan. Kaya, itong tatlong bagay na ito, dikit-dikit po siya. One affects the other. Kaya, sabi ng konstitusyon, Estado, gobyerno, pangalagaan mo ang kasal, pangalagaan mo ang pamilya. Kasi pag pinalagaan mo yan, magiging malusog ang iyong bansa. Okay? So, tandaan po natin yan. So, Section 12, naman pa, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. Therefore, sa kalagay shall equally protect the life, the mother and life, and birth and conception. So, ito pa, sanctity. Sanctity of family life. Ano ba yung sanctity? Kamalanan? Sanctity. Medyo napakalalim ng ibig sabihin naman. So, ngayon, marriage as an inviolable, sinabi sa atin, yung family code, yung ating constitution, marriage as an inviolable social institution. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng inviolable? Okay. Tingnan po natin ngayon. May mga mobile phones kayo, i-google nyo. Anong ibig sabihin ng inviolable? Kami po mga abogado, medyo kaartihan po kami, dating pa kami, no? Yung tinatawag na verbal legends o plain meaning. Tingnan lang po natin sa dictionary, ibig sabihin po ng inviolable, incapable of being transgressed or dishonored or destroyed. It is something sacred, holy, untouchable, unbreakable, and infringible. So, when you say marriage is an inviolable social institution, marriage is incapable of being transgressed, dishonored, or destroyed, and marriage is sacred, holy, untouchable, unbreakable, and infringible. Yung plain meaning, hindi na po tayo kailangan ng debato pa. Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng inviolable. Ngayon, so, tingnan po pa natin, is divorce, sagutin po natin ito pamilya, is divorce allowed? Discouraged, prohibited by the 1987 Constitution. Tingnan po kung ano po ang sagot natin dyan. Ngayon, yung, ano po ang intent ng framers of the 1987 Constitution? Diba? Siguro naman kayo lahat nakagboto kayo noon sa Constitutional Convention, Constitutional Commission. Diba? Para ma-ratify ating 1987 Constitution. So, yung mga nag-draft ng ating 1987 Constitution, ano ba talaga ang intensyon nila? Okay. Alam mo, kaming mga abogado, meron kaming debate, yung simula, sabi ng iba, hindi ang Constitution, sinasabi naman dyan, pinaalaw niya ng divorce. Kasi, sorry. Okay, sorry. Naaraw niya ng divorce. Kasi, yung si Mr. Gaston, isa siya member ng Constitutional Commission, meron siyang panukala. Ang sabi, the institution of marriage as the foundation of the family. So, tinanong siya ni Father Bernas. Si Father Bernas po, kilalang constitutionalist. Tinanong siya, is this to be understood as prohibition of a general law on divorce? So, sabi naman ni Mr. Gaston, that was not primarily my intention. My intention was primarily to encourage the social institution of marriage, but not necessarily discourage divorce. But now that he mentioned the issue of divorce, my personal opinion is to discourage it. So sabi sa kanya ni Father Bernas, my question is more categorical. Does this carry the meaning of prohibiting divorce law? So sabi ni Gaston, no, Mr. Presiding Officer. So, ang sabi ng ibang abogado, kita mo na, pinapayagan ng Constitution ang divorce, no? Kasi sinabi ni Mr. Gascon, no, it does not prohibit divorce, a divorce law. Okay? Pero tuloy pa po natin, hindi pa po dyan nagtatapos kasi deliberations po yan eh. Hindi naman po isang namin nila-propose and that's it. No? So, meron silang debate sa Constitutional Commission. At ganito, sabi ni Mr. Maambong sa pangalan, so, sinabi niya na, I would like to call the Commissioner's attention that under the Civil Code, it is not the institution of marriage which is being defended by the Civil Code. It is marriage as an inviolable social institution. Sinibuntahan po siya ni Mr. De Castro. Marriage is not a mere contract but an inviolable social institution. Yan pong panukalang ito, yung pong sa period of amendments, ito po yung sinasabi ni Mr. Maambong, marriage is an inviolable social institution. Ito po was unanimously adopted by all members of the Constitutional Commission. And ang lumabas na po sa ating Constitution ay ito, marriage as an inviolable social institution is the foundation of the family and shall be protected by the state. Again, doon po sa initial proposal ni Mr. Gascon na the institution of marriage as the foundation of the family. Malaki po ang kaibahan. Dito po in-emphasize that marriage is an inviolable social institution. At yan po ang nakalagay ngayon sa ating Constitution. Marriage is an inviolable social institution. It is sacred, it is holy, it is uninfringible, hindi po natin pwede, indestructible, lahat-lahat na hindi po pwede, basta natin po gawin ang marriage. So, yan po ang tunay na kwento dyan sa provision na ito. Now, so tanungin ko nga kayo, based on the discussion, is divorce allowed? No. It is not allowed by our 1987 Constitution. Is it discouraged? Yes. Is it prohibited? Yes. Salamat naman po. Hindi pa po kayo tulog. Okay, so based on the plain meaning and intent of the framers of the 1987 Constitution, divorce is not allowed, divorce is discouraged, and divorce is prohibited. Now, so any divorce law na papasa nila, yan po ay unconstitutional. There's only one way na magiging constitutional niya. Papasa nila ang constitution. Okay, kaya ano po tayo dyan? Kuy daw po, regional ng pag-ibigay ng tayo. Now, yung House Bill number 9349, yung ipinasa po, Absolute Divorce Act. Yun po yung pinasa sa lower house na papalit-palit po yung numero ng mga bumoto. Yung mga binoto natin sa Kongreso, hindi marunong magbilang. Papalit-palit po. Pero, sige, ang ginawa po nila para hindi na po humaba ang diskusyon, agad pinasa na nila sa Senado. Pero, tatandaan po natin yan. Gagamitin po natin yun sa tamang panahon. No? Okay. Dapat, at least yung magbilang, marunong naman sila. No? Okay. So, ngayon, ano ang nakalagay dito sa bill na ito? Marriage as a social institution and as the foundation of the family. Ano ang tunay?
Inviolable. The word.
Violable. Wala! Biglang nawala! Biglang nagtago o itinago. na yan anywhere in the bill. Yung inviolable. Bakit? Nasa Constitution natin yan eh. Gusto ba nila talagang palitan ng Constitution? Hindi mo pwede ang Kongreso lang magpapalit sa Constitution. Diba? Dapat taong bayan yan. Hindi ba ang kongresista at mga senador? Diba? So, dapat mapanuri tayo. Yung inviolable na napakahalagang term, so sinabi nila that ang divorce daw is an alternative mode for the dissolution of an irreparably broken or dysfunctional marriage and limited grounds lang po. Ako naman, ang lahat na po ng grounds isiniksik na nila doon sa divorce bill. Nandiyan ako yung grounds for legal separation, grounds for annulment, yung dalawang kinds po ng pagkulang annulment, plus. Iba pang mga grounds, irreconcilable differences, ayaw ko na sa mukha mo, ayaw ko na sa amin mo. Nandiyan po yan. Tapos sasabihin niya ang alternative mode for the dissolution of marriage. Eventually, it is going to be the only mode for the dissolution of marriage. And then, limited grounds, limited. Nandiyan na yun. So, hindi yan limited. Okay. So, sabi nila, it will save the children from the pain, stress, and agony consequent to their parents' constant marital clashes or irreconcilable differences. Tingnan po natin kung totoo yan. Kasi ipipresent ako sa inyong resulta ng pagkakaaral. No? And then, grant the divorced spouses the right to marry again. Yan po ang sinabi mo. To remarry. Sabi nila, meron ba kang tawag ng pakalawang ito? Oo nga naman. Pangasawa ko ako. Baka naman hindi na ito ako batutan ng asawa na ito. So, consent po. Pero kaya ko yan, makikita po natin kung may katutumanan na. State has the mandate of strengthening marriage and family life by undertaking relevant prenuptial and post-matrimonial programs and activities adequately funded by the government. Okay, sinabi na lang po natin maliwanag, no? Ng Estado na kailangan to spend its resources to strengthen marriage and family. Hindi po kinakailangan ng divorce bill. Nakakatawa naman niya. Yun na lang, i-dissolve mo yung marriage. Tapos, saka mo sasabihin, aming papalakasin ang marriage. Ano ba naman yun? Diba? Hindi na kinakailangan. Kaya na po magkaroon pa ng divorsyo bago magising ang gobyerno at tulungan ng pamilyang Filipino at ang marriage. Hindi po. So, summary judicial procedures, with or without lawyer, ex parte presentation of evidence allowed. Immediately final executory para madali po ang proseso. Nangaw po para sa mga OFW. Court assisted. Filing fees and cost of litigation waived, counsel to official assignment. Tutulungan para facilitate ang lahat-lahat. Expeditious and inexpensive. Okay. So, and then civil recognition of foreign divorce is secured by either the foreign spouse or the previous spouse without going through a judicial process. So, sabihin nila, hindi lang yung foreign spouse ang makapag-secure ng divorce, pati Filipino spouse. And wala ng judicial process. It will be automatically recognized now. Civil recognition of church dissolution, secured from the matrimonial tribunal of the Catholic Church or any other recognized religious sect or denomination. No need of judicial process. Ito po, okay, meron din po ang panukala, yung tinatawag ko ng Arroyo Bill. Yun po, sinasabi na yung church annulment, yung effects noon will be automatically recognized by the courts, ang civil courts. Mabuti po yan, no? Kaya lang po, hindi po yan papasa. Kasi po, yun po ay violative of yung tinatawag natin separation of church and state principle. Hindi po naman pwede Catholic magbigay ng pribilehiyo na katulad niya sa Catholic Church, ibibigay din po sa other recognized religious sects and denominations. Ang problema nga lang po yan, pag ginawa po natin yan, pasensya na po, paano po yung Kibuloy? Pati po yung matrimonial tribunal ng kanyang So, yung ano niya ngayon, diba? So, marami po mag-a-apply niya. Marami mga religious sects na sasabihin, kami rin, as a religious sect din kami, religious denomination din kami, dapat na hindi kami ganyan, yung privilege. Pag ganyan po, baka mas lalong lumaki ang problema. Sabi natin yung solusyon, baka lalong maging problema at hindi solusyon sa problema. Kaya, pag-isipan po natin mabuti yun. Kung iba sa ating simbahan that's advocating for that, mabuti po yun, pero sa Catholic Church ka, ay hindi po yun papasa sa test of constitutionality. Kasi violated po yun. Now, and then conversion of pending petitions. May nakabanban dyan pending petitions without making petitions for divorce and makapadali. Okay. So, itong grounds for absolute divorce, yung grounds for legal separation, then kung may legal separation decree ng more than 2 years, pwede na yung ground for divorce, grounds for annulment, plus, tapos separated in fact at least 5 years and reconciliation is highly improbable. Psychological incapacity, whether it existed at or after marriage, sex reassignment surgery, or transition from one sex to another, irreconcilable differences. Ano yung irreconcilable differences? Kung napakarami yung pinagay dyan. Other forms of domestic or marital abuse. So, ito po, yung results of research studies. Ang dami pong nag-aaral sa abroad po. And ito po yung results ng kanilang mga pag-aaral. 80% of couples who are very unhappy with each other but avoided divorce and remain married are happy 5 years later. So nag-iis sila, hindi sila sumuko. And 80% of these couples, they turn out to be happy 5 years later. And only 20% of those unhappy spouses who divorce and remarry are happily remarried 5 years later. 20% lang po. Yung may pangalan mo. Diba? So ito, majority of divorces do not occur in high conflict marriages, but in marriages where one or both spouses feel they are not as happy as they could be. So yung mga nagdi-divorce, so mga dito, differences na, hindi naman high conflict marriages, no? Siguro na, ayaw ka na sa'yo, ayaw ka makita mo mukha mo, ayaw ko pag-sukot ng damit mo, pangit mo, and then in the US, while 40% of first marriages end in divorce, 70% of second marriages end in divorce. Okay, mas malaki. And then kung third marriages, mas mataas pa, na 80%. Hindi po yan, hindi po ito theoretical. Ito po ay resulta ng pag-aaral over the years. Okay. And then, sabi po ni Dr. Judith Wallenstein, it is in adulthood that children of divorce suffer the most. The impact of divorce hits them most cruelly as they go in search of love, sexual intimacy, and commitment. Their lack of inner images of a man and woman in a stable relationship, and their memories of their parents' failure to sustain their marriage badly hobble their search, leading them to heartbreak and even despair. Sabi mo, Nida, mas lalong tumitindi ang epekto ng paghiwalay ng mga magulang sa pagtanda. Hindi mahirap na for them to overcome yung mga epekto ng divorce. Alam niyo mo, sa isang forum, sabi po obviously, sabi sa akin, alam niyo mo ba na si Dr. Judith Wallenstein ay yan ay for divorce? So sabi ko, di na po si credible ang resulta ng pag-aaral for divorce, si Dr. Judith Wallenstein. And tinanong ko po yung nasa kabilang panig po, sabi ko, nire-refute niyo po ba ang mga pag-resulta ng pag-aaral ni Dr. Judith Wallenstein? Nainis po siya sa akin. Sabi ko, hindi! Totoo yan. Oo, yung mga epekto sa bata, sa mga bata. So, yan po. Ito pa po ang mga ibang epekto. Effects on children of divorced parents. Experience more physical and mental illness, fare worse in school, more likely to give birth as teenager, to never marry, to experience their own divorce if they do marry, to earn less, to die 5 years earlier, to cohabit before marriage as young adults. So effects of legalized divorce abolishes marriage as it is understood historically. Hindi na po yan till death do us part. Magiging till divorce do us part. So, one who enters marriage cannot be certain that the spouse is committed to be with him or her until death. Wala nang commitment eh. Kasi hindi na kayo sigurado. Gising mo, isang umaga na lang. Basta, tapos tapusin na natin ito. Mag-divorce na lang tayo. Diba? Ganun lang kasi nangyayari. Okay. As a practical matter, couple marrying must recognize that their marriage could effectively end anytime. Even with little or no warning. Unstable and temporary status of marriage is altered or there is no concept of commitment. Wala nang concept of commitment. Sige, magpakasal tayo. Sige, divorce na lang tayo. Okay. Tapos, hanap na lang ako ng iba. Pakasal tayo. Ayoko na rin. Divorce na lang tayo. Ganun lang. Ganun na simple. Wala rin idea of commitment. Marriage becomes less attractive and has in fact become less common. Cohabitation, live-in, becomes an attractive option to marriage since cohabitation can be terminated at any time without need of legal proceedings. It affects relationship in every marriage, not just in troubled ones. Kasi nga, wala nang commitment eh. So hindi lang troubled marriages, every relationship, every marriage. Kasi pupunta rin sa isip mo, baka itong asawa ko, kinabukasan, baka ayaw na rin sa akin. So wala nang commitment. And you know, there's always an option out there. There's an opt-out option. Ayaw mo na, pwede ako, meron pa akong another option, another remedy, divorce. Okay. What about the stark reality of irreparably broken marriage? Ayan. Ito yung realidad. Siya, diba? Totoo naman, in our midst, sa pamilya natin, sa mga kamag-anak natin, sa mga kaibigan natin, may mga marriages na talagang problematic. Diba? Na siguro naman talaga naman talaga naman matagal, they have been working at it for a long time. Pero mukhang walang solusyon. Ano yung mga ganyan? Let's face it. Ayaw kami po sa Alfie, ayaw naman natin isipin, nagbibigay kami ng talk na, na lang kayo kasi hindi kayo tumitingin kung anong realidad. The reality is, kayo na talaga naman irretrievably broken marriages. Ano po ang kapag dyan? Yan po ang challenge. Challenge po yan sa ating lahat. Challenge po sa simbahan. Natin po. Pero, ang solusyon po ba dyan ay divorce? No. Napaka-radical. Hindi po yan. Tapos dyan. Ngayon, so ang kinakailangan po natin ay isang alternative. Alam niyo po ang ALFI. We were established, ALFI was established more than 20 years ago, than 22 years ago. And it was established as a reaction to the divorce bill then pending. More than 20 years ago, so 25 years ago, may divorce na. And they have been trying year after year, Congress after Congress to pass a divorce bill. Okay. And until now, hindi pa rin po sila successful, and until now, we have been trying. Tinanong po ako sa isang forum, ano masasabi ko sa ganyan attorney? Sabi ko, hindi po ba dapat? We have to be very proud of that. Kasi, bukod sa Vatican, Pilipinas na lang po ang hindi nag-legalize. Yes. Even that, doesn't that tell us about something? Na tayo po, talaga po naman we value family values, ating mga pamilya. Traditional family values, Filipino values. So, ang alternative bill, pag kinakailangan po natin kasi year after year, sisiguraduhin ito. Kung hindi po masarap itong Congress nito, there's an election sometime in May, I think. June, may bago tayong set of senators and congressmen. Sigurado po yung divorce bill. Ipaki so I'm sure this course of abortion, lagi po yan, nandiyan lang yan. Okay? Every opportunity that we have to continue to push. Okay, so ito, alternative bill. Ano po ang klase ng alternative bill na kailangan natin? Okay, marriage as an institution, an inviolable social institution, it have to be preserved and protected. Yung alternative bill po natin dapat, marriage as an institution, it have to be preserved and protected. Yung legal separation, po naman po, most often than not, it is not an adequate way in legal separation. Declaration of nullity sa canon law, no marriage application. So, yun po sa church, maganda pong model po yun na i-adapt po ng natin, ng civil law, yung ng simbahan na it is, the marriage is void from the very start kasi walang marriage to speak of, no? Walang, ano tawag ni Father Judas Gresham? Yun ang walang consent, walang real consent, walang capacity of the spouses to enter into the sacrament of marriage. And then, so, yun po ang kinakailangan ng alternative bill. So, yan po, I'm sure an alternative bill is going to come out. Yung mga grupo po, alam ko, is trying to work on it. And yan po ang kinakailangan natin klase ng alternative bill that's going to address ang troubled marriages, hindi po divorce. Okay. Now, yung bill na sinabi ko, mukhang hindi po yung solution kasi maraming problema na it will give rise to more problems. It's not going to be a solution. So, yun po ang challenge sa ating lahat. Okay. So, nandito na rin po ako. Just give me a few more minutes. Other pending bills po, yung SOGI, SC, identity, nasa pending po yan sa Congress at saka sa Senado. Comprehensive Anti-Discrimination Bill, Civil Unions Partnership, Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Act. Just to let you know, marami pong bills na paano affect mo sa ating pamilya. Pending sa ating pong Kongreso. Dadating po yung eleksyon, maging mapaglulit po tayo at nasa atin po yan. Kung ano po klase ng marriage, family, at bansa ang gusto natin. Okay. So, other significant developments, no? Yung proliferation po ng IVF clinics, and then po yung, I'm sure lahat po sa inyo may Facebook account. I'm sure nakikita niyo mga advertisements on abortion services. Nandiyan po, ang dami po sa Facebook, no? So, yan. Kaya alam natin na ang abortion is crime. No? Illegal pa rin dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So, ito po ang IVF centers all over the Philippines. No? Yan. Okay, meron pa nga po isang pare na nag-bless sa IVF center. Yan. Ito po yung mga ads, no, on Facebook for abortion. Okay, ito po. Yan. Okay, so, ito na po. A few highlights of the Supreme Court decision of the RH kasi yung panahon po yun, ang mainstream media ay hindi po natin kakampi. No? Kaya hindi natin mailabas ito. So, let me just take this opportunity, mabilis lang po, para po sabihin ko lang po sa inyo a few highlights of the Supreme Court decision of the RH law. Okay, hindi ko po gawa-gawaan ito. I'm quoting from the Supreme Court decision. To repeat, it is the court's position that life begins at fertilization or at conception, not at implantation. Okay? So, yan po ay baliwanag. No? Kasi yung implantation, katang-is po yan ang mga taong susulong ng abortion. No? The fertilized ovum, yung po ay embryo, is a living human being which the state has the constitutional duty to protect equally with the life of the mother. Alright? So, yung po, fertilization, meaning of the egg cell and the sperm cell, embryo po ang tawag, is a living human being. And then, sa ating mga Catholic, alam natin, at that point, may kaluluwa, may soul na yung embryo. Okay, so, the protection of the fertilized ovum must be from fertilization all the way until it reaches and implants in the uterus. Double effect principle, equal importance of the life of the mother and the life of the unborn. Okay? Pareho pong mahalaga ang buhay ng nanay at ang buhay ng nasa kanyang sinapupunan. Hindi po buhay ng nanay ang mas mahalaga. Kung nasa sinapupunan niya, equally important po yung buhay na iyon at ang buhay ng nanay. Okay. Principle of prudence. Life must be treated with utmost care and respect, must be protected against the slightest risk, and be affirmed in case of the slightest iota of doubt. Dapat ganun po ang pagpapahalaga sa buhay. No? Yung slightest risk at slightest iota of doubt, life will have to be protected. Life will have to be favored. Now, all healthcare workers have the right to conscientious objection. Kung mga doktor, nurses, medtech, no? Kahit kung barangay health workers, kung hindi po ninyo kaya, talaga naman pong against our religious belief na mag-ligation, mag-vasectomy, mag-abortion, even po yung contraceptive pills, eh hindi po kayo pwedeng pilitin ang gumawa ng isang bagay na against your conscience, against your religious belief. Yan po tinatawag na right to conscientious objection. Okay. Now, abortion remains a criminal offense. Alam niyo po, doon pa lang, sa RH law pa lang, meron na po silang pagtatangka na illegalize ang abortion. Mabuti na lang po, providentially, amin pong, stumbled on this. Isang word lang po, primarily, isinilig po nila po sa IRR sa definition of body function. Kami po sa AFI, we brought it to the attention of the Supreme Court. At buti na lang po, kinatigan kami ng Supreme Court at sinabi ang pag-insert ng word na primarily ay unconstitutional. Okay? So, dyan po tayo, nagiging na bagay po, pero sumisingit po sila para po ma-legalize ang abortion, ma-legalize ang maraming bagay sa mga illegal talaga sa ating bansa. So, how IVF works? Ano ko lang po sa inyo? So, collection of mature eggs from a woman's ovary which is fused with a sperm on a petri dish. So, typical IVF procedure involves several steps as complete the expressive procedure. So, and then fertilized eggs and called embryos are graded to determine quality and viability. So, yun po sa petri dish po, doon po yung nangyayari yung fertilization, and then hindi po lahat yun. No? Ano na po, fertilized na po yun. Natin natin, embryo, living immunity. Pinipili nila, ano ba dito ang quality po ito, mataas ang kalidad. Hindi lang po ang pinapasok sa fetus ng babae. Okay, ano po ang nangyayari kung sa naiiwan doon sa petri dish? No? Sila po ay they're frozen for future use, deleted for further study, or simply discarded. Okay, so, or yung pasok na po dito sa loob ng uterus, MI, o let's say tatlo, minsan lahat na bubuhay, pero ayaw nila ng tatlo, bigla at anak. Kaya yung tinatawag ng reduction of pregnancy, nangyayari rin po yun. No? So, hindi ko sinasabing ginagawa nila dito, maaari, kasi ganun ang nangyayari sa IVF. But yan po, that's the usual process of IVF. So, kayo na po, konsyensya na, kayo na po ang bahala maghusga kung may batas po na nasasakasama dyan. No? So, as both modern science and jurisprudence, yung Wong and Alfie versus Ochoa established that there is human-like fertilization, the practice of discarding human embryos or selectively reducing pregnancies with IVF procedures may constitute abortion. So, some challenges when fronting family and life. Ilan po? Charter change. Okay. Sinabi ko po kanina. Okay. So, ano lang po tayo? Alam po natin. Okay. Yung ating po constitution, pro-family, pro-life. Okay. So, that's something we're really proud of. That's why I think we have to treasure, we have to preserve, we have to protect our 1987 Constitution, lalo-lalo na po yung pro-family and pro-life provisions of our Constitution. Yung Sustainable Development Goals, yan po ay programa at susunod po niyan ang abortion, susunod po niyan ang divorce. Supreme Court composition, importante po yan. Okay, tingnan nyo sa United States, yung Roe versus Wade, na nag-legalize ng abortion, na reverse po yan, pinasok ni Trump ang mga conservative, sabi niya, conservative na justices na decide na i-reverse Roe versus Wade. So, importante rin po ang Supreme Court composition natin. Okay, rapid progress in science and technology. Ano na po naman natin ang effect niya. More and stronger representation in congressional hearings. Kailangan po natin, alam niyo, pag may pagdidinig na nangyayari sa Kongreso, karapatan po natin na tayo po ay sumali. Okay? So, and then we have to remind our legislators that they are there because of us. On the ground, local data and facts. No? Sana may mga pag-aaral sa ating magawa. Okay, clergy. Okay, so we need to hear more from the church, from the pulpits, and the meetings. No? Importante po na we need guidance. No? We need our clergy, the church hierarchy, to hold our hands, to guide us, and to tell us ito ang tamang ng us. They will very much be helpful in informing the people, the faithful, and in educating sana more noise. Isang click lang yun. I-like service. And then, write something. Ang dali. I'm sure, you make some comments and all of that. Make a comment to advocate, no? Or to propagate. Says, no? Always vigilance, respect, openness, charity po, no? Towards all at all times. So, accompanyment po, samahan po natin ang mga pamilya na nagkakaroon ng problema, bawat isang po sa atin na hindi pa baka hindi alam kung ano po ang tunay niyang pagkatao, ang tunay niyang identity. Samahan po natin, maggustahan, but at the same time, let's stand firm in our religious beliefs and convictions. So, as long as we love, care, and believe, the Filipino family will live and flourish. Sa lang po, alam mo, nabasa po ito, sabi po ni Pope Paul, all that, the love that God has, He has given to the family. All that the beauty that God has, He has given to the family. So if all the love and all the beauty that God has been, bestowed upon the family, how can the family feel? So, yan po, sana, po, i-share po natin po ang ating nakuha, ating discussion this afternoon. And sana po, pangalagaan natin ang family. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Atty. Berly. Palakpakan po ulit natin sila. Tatanong ko lang po si Sir Boss. Sa napakagandang talk ni Atty. Berly, ano yung pinaka-nakuha?
Ay, ako ba?
Yes.
Marami actually.
Give us one.
Hirap na. Sa dami nang narinig ko. Siguro isa sa iniwan sa atin ni Atty. Berly, isang challenge na tayong mga laiko dapat talagang hindi maging tahimik lang pagdating